How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? Welcome back to another episode. We're here and the lights are not on. Alexa, lights on. We're here, we're back, and we're ready to talk about all things market. Today was another crazy day on the market. Things going all over the place. Palantir looking like it was gonna sell off, then it just chopped around. Tesla did the same thing, and sadly, your boy did not have a good day at all today. Today was actually one of my worst days of the month so far. Basically gave back one of my best days. I had multiple good days this month already, but I gave back one full day's worth of progress today. Just was too very undisciplined. I had very plenty of opportunities where I could have just walked away for flat. Plenty of opportunities where I could have just kept the damage small, but that's not how it ended up being, sadly. But that's the nature of the day. Sometimes you're not disciplined, and then you have to pay the tuition fees for that. Some days your setups are not working, you have to pay the tuition fees for that. So learn the mistake. You learn how costly it is to be emotional and trade emotionally. But growing pains for every day trader, as you guys have mostly all faced it if you are in the same business, right? Everyone goes through this process, and you grow through it, you learn from it. And the lights are still not on. Alexa, lights on. Alexa, lights on. There we go. So growing pains as you can call it, but nothing that we are going to be too upset about. Still lots of opportunities out there in the market. Cryptocurrency going crazy. Bitcoin hitting 90,000 today. We got Victor H in the house. Victor saying that Bitcoin going into 120,000 by the end of the year. Now that's a number that we're very, very excited to see if it'll actually go there. What would happen to some of the positions in the market when Bitcoin actually ends up going there? For example, Coinbase, MSTR, Robinhood, even cryptocurrency miners. Today we had a crypto miner, BTCT, going absolutely crazy to the north side. So lots of wild fun to be had, especially if cryptocurrency ends up going, or sorry, not crypto, Bitcoin ends up going into $100,000. Sadly, I'll miss the ride. Anyways, today's stream, I actually don't want to spend too much time talking about stocks. So we're gonna quickly go through our watch list that I have ready for tomorrow. Quickly go through the watch list, get ready for some of the movers, some of the shakers, some of the earnings reports, and so on. But more importantly, I want to spend some time playing with my back testing software. So this might be a boring stream for some of you guys here. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. But we're gonna quickly go through some of the names that reported earnings today, see how they moved. For example, SoundHound, Shopify, Marathon, Carvana, Spotify, and so on. So some of the main names that basically move around when they report earnings. Another cryptocurrency miner over here reporting tomorrow in the pre-market, HUT8, ticker just HUT. All of that on my watch list. Even previously reporting names such as UPST, who just had a stock offering. UPST had a stock offering, so they're down 10 full percent. Then you have a Palantir, Tesla, Nvidia, all of those names. Nvidia, if it can push through 150 tomorrow, that would be something, that'll be an insane opportunity for the long side. Right now, Nvidia holding quite well under 150, and if it gets through 150, I think it's going to be a monster long opportunity for Nvidia. So we're gonna quickly have a speed run through some of these stocks, starting with the earnings names. SoundHound also previously not previously, SoundHound, I guess I could say previously a meme name, but right now it's in the AI basket, so kind of in the same meme realm, but with the AI push behind it. So SoundHound has been known to go crazy previously, and now with the earnings report, looks like actually reporting green, still losing money, but reporting green earnings report over here. I'm expecting it to go higher. Let's go see if it did that exactly. No, SoundHound actually flushed to the downside. Quickly putting in the earnings anchored VWAP and looking at how the stock played out. Potentially we're gonna have to look for shorts on pops. Not sure if this company even makes a product that they can sell, if they even make any money. Voice and sound, natural language, artificial intelligence technologies, and related activities. That company was founded in 2025. Yeah, I think this is just still a concept company. I'm not sure they actually make any money, but it says they have $25 million in revenue. Look, for me, it's just price action when it comes to names like these. The earnings reports for a company like this really doesn't, I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It does matter, but they don't really have any real product as far as I know. They're not a real company either. It's just one of those hyped up names with the AI basket. Let's go see what the float is for SoundHound and what the short float is. That's also an interesting number to keep an eye on. So 2 billion market cap. I guess you're just shy of being a small cap. You're a little bit higher than small cap. Short shares 313 million shares. A short float 24, or let's just say 25 million shares short float. Let's actually go see if they have any revenue coming in, and are they actually growing year to year. I guess for that we're gonna have to bring in our Benzinga. I wasn't wanting to bring in Benzinga. Am I not logged in over here? I am logged in. Okay. I didn't want to use Benzinga or read earnings reports today, but when something like SoundHound comes into play, and then we also have a couple other names where we are actually might have to read the report on those ones. So let's go read it. The revenue up 89% year-over-year basis. Now things like that change your bias on a very quick note. On a very quick note. What do you even sell? Allowing us to execute on the company's vision, but okay. All right, anyways. Raise this full year outlook 2024-2025. Company expects 2024 revenue to be range of 82 to 85 million. Okay, not bad, I guess. 115 to 175 million. We believe that voice is the killer app for applied generative AI. Thanks to our best-in-class technology, master a complex vertical proprietary AI software, huge growing opportunities. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, buddy. I'm not sure about that. We'll see. We'll see. 89% growth on revenue is actually not bad, but the stock clearly did push to the downside to begin with. They don't make any money. I also want to go see what their forward PE is. Continuing down reading this report, customer concentration in the quarter was only 12% of the revenue attributed to its largest customer, down from 72% in the prior year. So that took a pretty big hit, I guess. Company reported adjusted EBITDA of 15.9 million. I mean, how much are these guys in debt? Keep in mind, we're not analysts, right? We're not analysts, we're day traders. We just want to care about the day-to-day movement on the stock. But if you go look at, I guess it doesn't show that clearly. I have to do some actual math. What's their debt to equity ratio? 0.02. Let's go back to their year-to-year quarterly growth. We just saw, what was the number again? We saw 89%, and I guess they were going down a little bit quarterly over quarter, but now they're going back to 80%, so that's pretty good. You know, there's some good metrics over here that the market could like. But, you know, overall, we started off with a big push to the downside in this position, which got bought right back up off the last month's high. So keeping an eye on some of these levels over here on SoundHound. Previously known to be a squeezer, high short flow also. So if this earnings report randomly gets some love tomorrow in the pre-market, potentially could see some shorts getting busted out. Right now, shorts are winning, right? Clearly shorts are winning as we just pushed right back into $6.25, which is right back into this area. But if we are able to see a hold back into today's high and a hold above today's high, potentially some shorts getting busted out and some bigger parabolic moves start brewing in this position. For now, I think the long is very much in play as long as we're able to take out today's high. But if we're not able to take out today's high off of this report, based off how we already moved in the pre-market, I think the answer is pretty obvious at that point. You're just looking to short the stock. You're looking to short on any pops. Look for the 5-minute chart patterns and all that basic play styles that you can look to get in and out of a position. Next stock, Mara. Obviously, with all the cryptocurrency craziness that's going on, Bitcoin hitting $90,000, 90,000 USD. So not expecting anything but more upside for Mara. Please, God, tell me I'm right. What? Mara every single time on its earnings report just does this, just fails to find buying. These crypto miners keep struggling, man. They just never succeed. But today BTCT was something wild. BTCT went absolutely crazy. There was a point where you know, I was looking to short crypto BTCT stock, but then I said, you know what? No, I don't want to short this stock. It could go crazy. Just because I thought that, I should have been ready to just go long on this name instead, because that was a no-brainer long today on BTCT. What a crazy move over here. Is Spirit Airlines worth investing in, says Saj. I would say be careful. They just filed for bankruptcy, did they not? So they're down 5% today, expecting a little bit more down move in the after hours over here. As you can see, they did move all the way down to what, $2? Sorry, as low as $1 in the after hour. Now, if you ask me, there could be an offer that the stock gets. Some company comes in, maybe American Airlines, maybe United Airlines, maybe some airliners come in, or maybe even a private investor comes in and throws a bid to acquire the company, and that could be your saving grace. At that point, you're just betting that the stock doesn't go to zero. So if it goes lower than 1, if it goes lower than 0, you're just betting on the fact that the stock doesn't go to 0, and then you can invest in it, right? But realistically, why would you buy a company that is going bankrupt? That's the idea for SAVE. If you ask me, this is not an investment question. This is a swing trade question where you can easily double, triple, quadruple your money if there is a random bid that comes in to save Spirit Airlines. Previously, they were getting acquired by Frontier Airlines or maybe JetBlue, I forget, and then DOJ came in and blocked the deal. They said this would be too big of a monopoly, and then, you know, the deal never went through, and the stock just kept fluctuating back and forth ever since. So based on all of that nonsense that the stock had to go through, I mean, you could easily get a Hail Mary back into $3, $4, $8, $10 depending on the value of the company somewhere down the road if someone big comes in, tries to save this company. But you got to be ready to take the loss on this name if it continues to go downside, right? So I wouldn't say investing. I'd say you're looking for some sort of a Hail Mary scalp, Hail Mary swing trade on this name. Worth keeping an eye on. As a day trade, I think the idea stands the same. You're looking for $1 to hold and the stock to show you buying above $1. This would already be down more than 10% in the after hours. So by the time we open around $1, or maybe even in pre-market, it bounces off $1 and we never really get a chance to play off the dollar area. But you're basically expecting the stock to not get below $1 and just play long off of that. You can expect tons of liquidity, you know, hundreds of millions of shares probably taking place tomorrow. Lots of hedge funds, lots of big money probably going bankrupt, not bankrupt, but losing a shit ton of money off of this news catalyst. So you can expect a lot of selling pressure, and if all of that selling pressure actually gets held at the $1 area, then it's like an almost easy no-brainer. You're gonna very quickly get 10R reward. You're gonna easily get a 10-cent risk for 10-cent reward for maybe a 1-cent risk, and insane amounts of shares that you can just jam into the trade and just have a very quick scalp as a day trade. So we'll be watching safe for sure. I just don't think a lot of people will be able to take advantage of it as a day trade as I can, because of the prop firm capabilities and the fee structures we have at a prop firm. Most funded accounts, CFD accounts, and personal accounts, you'll get charged quite a bit if you don't do it right. So if you can find good buying off of the $1, slip in a bit at $1, see if you can get filled at 1, and then your stop is basically if the stock gets below 1 and stays below 1 successfully, you just want to get out of it, because clearly the news is not good for this company. The news is not good at all. Mara, pretty good move to the downside in the after hours over here. Last time, if I remember correctly, Mara did the same thing. It was doing well off of its sympathy off to Bitcoin, but off the earnings report, it just crumbled to the downside, right back to the lower end of its ranges, and looking like Mara might be getting ready to do something very similar. So keep an eye out for it. Look how history repeated itself again and again. We basically walked into a very similar prices again on Mara, and now getting ready to potentially close the gap off of what seems to be a bad earnings report. They're losing money EPS, they're making less revenue. How are you making less revenue when cryptocurrency is at all-time highs? Not sure about that, right? So overall, not looking good. Maybe they should do what MSTR is doing, just dilute the company 100% and then buy more cryptocurrency. Not even mine cryptocurrency, just buy cryptocurrency, because everything you mine gets halved eventually, right? So buy cryptocurrency, that way that one doesn't get halved, and just keep it on a hard ledger, and then your revenue just keeps going up higher and higher and higher. Infinite money glitch, the Michael Saylor style, right? So I don't know. I think clearly Mara doing something wrong over here. So watching how Mara reacts based on this recent crypto reaction and its earnings reaction. Here's a name that I'm more interested in than anything else tomorrow. It's Kava, C-A-V-A. So let's quickly go check out Kava's earnings report using my good friends over at Benzinga. Make sure to check the link below in the description for the Linktree page that will lead you to all of my affiliate sponsors, especially Benzinga, which we're using at the moment. Kava reporting earnings report coming in 15 cents per share. And the stock is trading at like 300 PE. What nonsense. 15 cents per share, beating estimates of 11. Quarterly sales came in at 200. If they talk about their stupid steak dish that they talked about last time, I'm calling bullshit on this company right now. Quarterly sales came in at 243.82 million, which beat the estimates of 233 million. Okay, decent beat. Increase over sales of 175 million. Not bad actually. Pretty good growth of revenue year to year. Net new Kava restaurants opening of 11, bringing total restaurants to 352, a total increase of 21.4% year to year. Kava same restaurant growth came in 8.1%, including what the fuck is guest traffic growth at 12.9%. Kava AUV, I'm not sure what that is. AUV, I think I know what it is, but I can't remember. Of 2.8 million compared to 2.6 million. Average user value, I'm thinking that's what it is. That's not average user value. Well, average unit value. Anyways, 2.6 million in the prior year compared to 2.8 million the current year. Current quarter, I guess. Yeah, current quarter. Kava restaurant level profit 61.8 million, or growth of 41.9% over quarter to quarter. Year to year. With Kava restaurant level profit margin at 25.6%. Kava digital revenue mix was 35.8%. Demonstrated strength in the Mediterranean category, defining brand and the broad appeal of unique value propositioning, creating what is quickly becoming the new major culture cuisine category. Shut up, dude. Traffic grew 12.9%. We opened 11 new restaurants. Average unit volume. Okay, that's what I thought. Unit volume. 2.8 million. In addition, we continued to execute across our strategic initiatives, completing the national launch of our reimagined loyalty program and our rolling out of our new more garbage. Kava raises fiscal 2024 net restaurant opening outlook to between 54 and 57 new restaurants, compared to 56 to 58, so kind of in range. Whatever. Between 8.5 to 9.5 to 12 to 13. So you basically raised the amount of stores you're looking to have by like 2 on both ends. But you did raise the restaurant growth by a decent amount. So I guess that took the stock to absolute insane, ridiculous heights today. Keep in mind the stock is at an all-time high. This stock is also absolutely ridiculous. One of the best performing IPOs there's ever been. Reddit obviously is one of them, but Kava has been one of the best performing IPOs. And I still can't believe it. People are just eating it up. This stupid company. How's Sweet Greens doing? SG. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is what I expected from Kava. Pushed lower first and then eventually come back. No. And I bet you, stupid Jim Cramer is probably talking about Kava all over his thing today. Because when this stock was IPOing, he just couldn't shut up talking about the stock. Oh, looks like rest in peace Salesforce. Oh, looks like rest in peace Salesforce. Get ready to go short CRM. Yeah, get ready to go short CRM. Let's actually go check on CRM's health really quick. Yeah, look at that. Already down on the day. I think we get ready to short CRM just because of what we just saw earlier. But coming back to Kava because of its earnings report, let's go take a look at that move. Wow, what a ridiculous stock. What a ridiculous stock. What's the PE on this stock? We're getting into Carvana status. CVNA. 29,375 PE for Carvana. 29,375. That's nuts. Kava 398. We're getting into Carvana status here, if you ask me. The stock is going nuts. 169.99, the after hour high. Someone's a joker. Someone's got a lot of jokes over here. Basically 170 at this point. Someone parked the sell order at 169.99 and just didn't allow the stock to get higher than that in the after hours. You can see how this earnings anchored VWAP into $164. It's going to be pretty indicative. The stock's got to either be above 164 or fail hard below 164. This is probably going to be priority numero uno tomorrow based on how this stock reacts. It's a little crazy. It's a little dislocated, a little overreacted to the upside. If you look at the 200-day moving average, that's at $89. Okay, so technically the stock has a long way to come back to go to reality, especially from this after hour high that we're at. So let's see if the stock keeps going higher and higher. If there's a big sell wall that we can find tomorrow intraday to lean off of somewhere into 200, maybe even this after hour high of 170, I will not be surprised if the stock goes above 170 in the pre-market. But watching how the stock sets up tomorrow, pre-market levels going into intraday levels, going into intraday chart patterns and so on to play off of. Kava, highest priority, especially if Jim Cramer talks about it. Spotify, big fan of Spotify. Just don't use Spotify anymore because now I pay for YouTube Premium. So YouTube Premium kind of solves all my needs, and I don't really need Spotify anymore. Mainly use Spotify for Joe Rogan's podcast, and now that Joe Rogan's podcast is back on YouTube, I don't really need Spotify anymore. But still a big fan of Spotify. Don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. All right, and Spotify at $420. I love that. $420 to the dot was today's high, and obviously with the earnings report we went a little bit higher. 465 is now the earnings high on Spotify. So mainly looking for longs, I guess. Let's go take a look at the report, because at a quick glance looks like the report was actually red. So let's actually go take a look at the report here on Benzinga. See how Spotify reported. Miss EPS, beat revenue, corrected. Okay. 1.59 per share, missing estimates of 1.84. 4.34 billion revenue, beating 4.31. Increase from 3.65 same period last year. That's a pretty good increase if you ask me. Company reported monthly average users, net additions of 14 million, surpassing guidance by 1 million. Okay, and subscriber net additions of 6 million were also ahead by 1 million. Premium subscribers grew by 12% year to year to 252 million, reflecting a year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter growth across all regions. The business delivered strong third quarter results. Any outlook? I don't really see any outlook in that one. Any outlook in this one? Any outlook over there? Maybe here, maybe here. Nope, don't see any outlook anywhere. But so far, they did miss EPS. Little 14% miss on EPS. And looks like, TradingView is saying they missed on revenue too. It depends on what analyst you're pulling off of, right? Benzinga might be using their own analyst or maybe a different analyst. TradingView might be using a completely different analyst. So it just depends on what analyst they're comparing it off of. Overall, the only metric I think that matters is the fact that they beat monthly subscriber growth by 1 full million and paid subscriber growth by 1 full million. So they're bringing in more people even after what I just mentioned, even after YouTube Premium and YouTube Music and YouTube Joe Rogan and all of those factors coming into play. Spotify still raking in the money and the new users. So shout out to Spotify for being resilient. Obviously looking for any dips that I can get potentially long on, mainly because they're growing year over year. It's as simple as that. My bias is pretty bullish, looking to see how all dips behave on my beauty Spotify. I don't know why I said my beauty. I don't really own this company at all, but mainly looking for dips to get long into. Right now, the earnings anchored VWAP around $450 seems to be some sort of a resistance slash pivot point. I'm gonna put it down in my notes as an inflection level instead. It's kind of as a pivot point. The stock could either go higher than 450 slash 451, or it could find resistance over there and then start going below it. So it's going to be very important to see how the stock trades around over here. Doesn't mean that I'm going to use this area to make key important trading decisions off of, unless there's a real good trading pattern, a 30-minute hold above a level over here, and then a very clean hold for me to get long into. Then we can talk. Oxy, Papa Buffy stock, but has he been de-risking from Oxy quite a bit? I'm not sure if he has or not, but with the way the stock is trading, I mean, you could potentially say he has been. The stock now pushing all the way back into what I remember as the Buffy average, and now we're pushing right back into those areas. We'll be interested to see how Oxy reacts. Looks like off this earnings report, we actually popped up a little bit, but that move in the after hours looks very insignificant, so I'm not really too excited to even trade Oxy tomorrow. But looking at this chart pattern, kind of screams a pretty obvious bouncy ball pattern. If you guys don't know what the bouncy ball pattern is, I would urge you to go check out your boy, the one Lance B. So if this is the bouncy ball pattern on a longer term chart, we're getting lower highs, lower lows, lower high, low, not really lower lows, but same lows and lower highs. Eventually, once that bottom breaks, potentially a big short opportunity setting up on the daily chart, which is a swing trade at that point, and potentially giving you a good day trade in that case, below 49.50, below $50. If Oxy is not able to find buying above 50, that is. If Oxy is able to find buying above 50 the way it did today, then more longs potentially setting up for you guys to be interested in. RKLB, Rocket Labs. I think this one actually boosted off to the high side quite a bit. Even after what seems to be reporting a red report, bringing in more revenue, but missing EPS. RKLB, very interesting name. Keeping this one on watch for sure. Low float, if I remember correctly, low float, RKLB, it was back in the day in the meme basket because of its short flow percentage. Not small cap, I guess, because anything less than 2 million is small cap. So this is large cap at this point. I'm not sure I could say large cap, but at least in the medium cap. 7 billion market cap coming in with 309 shares float, out of which 19% of it is short float. So pretty decent short float, opportunities to get a squeezer, some meme names type of reaction play setting up over here. You can see how these previous highs is kind of where the stock pushed into, and I won't be surprised if we actually go all the way back into all-time high. So we just kind of reclaimed that $17 and all-time high into $21.34. I won't be surprised if we go into $21.34 and then probably set up for a little bit of a short from there, for a day trade scalp or something. So keep an eye on RKLB. You can also watch earnings anchored VWAP. Obviously that's going to be a very indicative price, but for me it's going to be an easier dip buy if the stock goes into $17 and bounces off of 17. It's a way easier dip buy if we bounce off of 17. Obviously if it bounces off the earnings anchored VWAP, then that could be fun also, no doubt about that. RKT, another rocket name, but this time the rocket for this one, and the boosters are going to the downside. Rocket mortgages, I believe, rocket financing, rocket companies, rocket mortgages, Quicken loans, all that insurance stuff. Previously a big meme name also, but you know, reality check coming into RKT, I guess. Not really as interested to keep this one on the watch list. Low volume, low price, low interest. Maybe if volume can pick up on RKT, we'll talk about it. A recent IPO, maybe not that recent, but a recent enough of an IPO coming in October 2023, so almost a year ago. Instacart, so pretty hyped up IPO when it IPO'd, and obviously interesting to see how this one does off of its earnings report. It looks like it actually pushed a little bit to the downside. Has been been on a nice rally recently off of a green earnings report, pushed down at the moment. 91% beat on EPS and a 0.9% beat on revenue. But what is that actual percent on year-to-year growth? INST? No, that's CART. We need to see CART. CART. Bringing in Benzinga again to check out what Instacart's growth is. 11.52% increase of sales from same period last year. That's what we want to see, and they are showing you you know, they're bringing in more EPS too, so they're making more profit around the border, around the company and everything. Maple Bear, that's right, Maple Bear, Instacart, Maple Bear, very interesting. But it looks like the stock actually flushed. Where did I put? Looks like the stock actually flushed in the after hours, so a little bit of a shaky move over here on CART. The priority on this one, just off of the how the chart is at the moment, I'm not that interested. Potentially will be interested if the stock has some short opportunities in the pops based on how we played out over here. But looking at the report that we just saw, that's an 11% growth year over year, so they're not really losing money. Maybe people are just taking profits to take profits, and you know, there's not really a big short opportunity out there too. So lots of anti-short mentality for this company at the moment. You know, they don't really have a PE, but they have positive EPS, so potentially just starting to turn the corner, just starting to make some money potentially. All things considered, I'm not really heavily leaning to the short side. You can see how these previous lows over here potentially were off that very same lows, 46. Yeah, we're very much into those very same lows. So if we're continuing to bounce off of that, no short. But if we do get below these lows over here that we just made from last week, if we clearly get below last week's low and find selling below last week's low, then we can have some fun on this position to the downside. But without that, I'm just simply not interested. What is that price point? That is 47. Man, what is last week's low? Last week's low is 44. Are you kidding me? $46.60. So what am I looking at over here? This is not last week's low. What the hell is this? All right, well, whatever that is, $46.60. If we get below $46.60 to $46.50 and stay below it, I think we got some moves into 44, which is last week's low. So potentially some short opportunities through there. But if we stay above $46.50, $46.60, and potentially even start taking out $50, there could be some high opportunities to the upside over here. 11% growth, decent growth, taking out all-time high, and we start rallying above $50. The current market environment, we're seeing earnings movers of 20, 30, 50%. So Instacart could easily do something wild. So just be prepared for that. Shopify was a big mover today. Did not expect as big of a move for Shopify as we played out. We did see the pre-market, we did not see, I thought it reported after hours. We did not. So pre-market was a monster move. I tried to find some plays for myself on Shopify today. I did not find opportunities to play Shopify. There were some opportunities. I just was hesitant. I was too risk avert when it came to Shopify for some reason, not sure why, and I missed out some good plays. But however, this will be an interesting name to keep an eye on tomorrow. What is kind of a little bit of a turn off for me, wow, that is the bouncy ball pattern right there. Perfect bouncy ball pattern going into the close. That gave you a good short opportunity. Bang, bang, and then you basically get short right there at 111. And you get a quick scalp going into the close of 108, 107. And your risk is very, very tight. You could even get short on the pop right there into 110 into the last 15 minutes of the close, and you get a nice little ride into the downside and a potential bigger move tomorrow to the downside into 100, at which point the stock flips from a short into a long tomorrow. So lots of opportunities over here. This is actually interesting. I want to quickly take a picture of this and ask my peers what they think about this. Copy. Pull that up. Pull that up. Open image. Open image editor. Start your position there. You add on that bounce, and then you hover into close. Especially if there is some closing imbalance for short side on Shopify. Right? Now that I copied it, oh, I should not have closed it because it's probably deleted if I fuck. Oh no, it saved it. Awesome, it saved it. That bouncy ball, you think? Question mark. Put it in my notes. Bouncy ball setup going into close on job. Right. Gotta keep notes of these charts, boys. Gotta keep notes of these charts. Otherwise, this you know, you lose these charts, then you miss them. Maybe even I should write up this chart. However, this was pretty late going into the day, so it's like, would I even take that at that point? You know, it's pretty late going into the day, so a little bit of on that bouncy ball, but still bouncy ball nevertheless. Bouncy ball nevertheless. Shout out to your boy, the one Lance B. So keeping an eye on Shopify without a doubt. Potential dip buys into 100 or even below 100 all the way into $90. That'll be insane. Let's see what happens on Shopify. You got today's high, basically a double top around today's high into 114.50. You got today's low at 106. You got the earnings anchored VWAP, which is basically today's VWAP, but you got the earnings anchored VWAP also to keep an eye on. So pretty simple levels on Shopify to watch for. Home Depot, not that interested on Home Depot at all. SE, big down move on SE, but still ended up 10%. But based on how SE is setting up, if we see selling on SE below 107 tomorrow, potential gap close into 100 into 101 and then flip long, kind of the same idea as Shopify. So keeping an eye on SE, keeping an eye on Shopify for sure. Both these names are very important. If SE pops into today's VWAP, once again earnings VWAP, if SE pops into earnings VWAP slash today's VWAP and shows you rejection off of these levels, then potentially you can look for a short from there back into today's low, at which point then you can maybe flip long and so on. So these two names will be very much on watch. Hut is one of those other cryptocurrency names, but as MARA reported, I think Hut will also have the very same fate. I also don't think cryptocurrency slash Bitcoin, I guess Bitcoin actually setting up for some sort of a 3-bar breakout. So if Bitcoin actually breaks out and goes into 100K, then who am I to say that Hut can't launch to the upside and Mara can't launch to the upside? So watch these stocks. Hut reports tomorrow pre-market. Mara reported today after hours. And BTCT, a name that went absolutely insane, 128 million shares to the upside. And BTCT, boy oh boy, what a crazy name. If you just went long on the pre-market high break, what a crazy mover. Potentially another insane mover tomorrow too if some wildness continues on this name. So gotta keep this one on watch. UPST had a monster move to the upside, and finally I think we're gonna open up some of the floodgates on UPST. Looks like UPST has offered an offering. So now we're getting the downside move on UPST, potentially breaking the earnings day low over here. It opens up a little bit more room to the downside, basically 65 to 64.50. If we can get below that and show selling below that on UPST, I think that opens up some floodgates and takes us right back into this previous consolidation era with some dilution coming into play on the stock. But if we continue to hold above 65, then there's almost a no-brainer long over there. So keep an eye on how the stock behaves for the next few days. It could give you longs for the next few days off of 65, off of 64.50, and then later on set up for a short. Tesla still going a little crazy. I think today's pullback wasn't big enough for me. Still expecting more pullback on Tesla. So watching how pops react tomorrow. Does today's VWAP, today's high, yesterday's VWAP. Watching for all of these technical indicators, how they react and how they is they're buying off of these important levels, is they're selling off of these important levels, are we flushing away from them, are we fighting for the price and staying above it? So all these important readings off of technical levels that we created today and we created yesterday. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, today's high, today's low, yesterday's VWAP, today's VWAP, day one's move VWAP, election day VWAP, earnings day VWAP. So you're kind of using all of these indicators to create a little bit of analysis that can help you look for a trade on Tesla. But when it comes to MSTR and Coinbase, you're kind of just watching what Bitcoin does. So MSTR rallying higher and higher, and especially with the Bitcoin hitting 90k after hours over here, potentially MSTR will do some fun stuff into the pre-market. If you ask me, a little overextended on both of these names. Coinbase recently reported atrocious earnings report, and the fact that Coinbase is sitting up here all pretty like is astounding to me. So watching Coinbase for a big short if it ever sets up. But right now, with how wild cryptocurrencies is, maybe you shouldn't be looking for that short heavily on Coinbase. Let cryptocurrencies go crazy, and when they all come back down, Coinbase will be the easy one to go pick at. It'll be the, you can be the bully at that point and pick Coinbase as much as you want. SMCI still having that legal issues, moving 6% to the downside, just stuck in yesterday's range basically, but moving around if you're interested to keep an eye on. Eventually, potentially opens up more downside on that stock. Mosaic, MOS, not sure why I even put this on the watch list. Yeah, it had a big down day today off of earnings report. Am I going to trade it tomorrow? Hell no. Why is it on my watch list? I don't care about this one. Nvidia 150, that is the only important level on Nvidia 50. 150 is the only important level on Nvidia at this point. Either we break above it and blast off through 150 and the market rallies along with it. At this point, Nvidia is the market. So if Nvidia blasts through 150, market blasts along with it. Tesla probably does something crazy again because it's been going crazy recently. And then you're going to watch how Meta behaves above 600 at that point. So all kinds of wild things open up. If Meta gets above 600, if Nvidia gets above 150 and takes the market higher. So watching how Nvidia sets up, it's been getting rejected off of this level quite some time, back to back days, and has set up for some beautiful short opportunities off of this 150 if you were looking for it. But eventually, the more times the price gets tested, eventually that price breaks and it has a big expansion to the upside or to the downside, whatever side the expansion breaks out. So right now we're contracting long enough until that contraction breaks and either the sellers die and we go higher, or the sellers win and the buyers die and we go lower. So keeping an eye on which side the contraction breaks. Right now, in my opinion, that 150 is the level you're watching to the upside. Meta 602 is the level you're watching to the upside. 603, 602. I'll just say 600 to 603. Really, 300 range for a $600 stock is nothing. If I remember correctly, Meta's ATR, I usually put ATRs in my notes. I haven't yet. I was a little busy today. Meta's ATR, $14. Okay, $14 ATR for this stock. What is MSTR's ATR now? Is it still 23.23? It's probably a little bit higher. Yesterday was 23.23. Now it's 24 ATR for MSTR. Okay, Google, I usually don't like to day trade Google, but Google will be interesting if we can get above this recent peak high, which we kind of got above today. Hello, marker, which we kind of got above today, and then we got stuffed right back down. So it's 182 to 182.50 on Google that you're watching to see how the stock reacts. If we can get above that price point and stay above it cleanly, this looks like an easy breakout level setting up at the moment. So if it sets up, hold above a 182.50 to 182. If it holds above it, I think there's an opportunity to look for a long move on Google, a little bit of a laggard if you ask me on that name. Amazon, slowing down a little bit, but bouncing every single time off this 205. So Amazon potentially gearing up. It's contracting, kind of doing what Nvidia does, right? So let it contract, keep an eye on it. Doesn't hurt to keep an eye on it, but not really sure if I want to be trading Amazon right now, especially after having a watch list of names that we just had. A big watch list of names of heavy hitters and monster opportunities setting up tomorrow. Shopify, Spotify, Kava, UPST, SE, Nvidia, MSTR, Coinbase. So lots of names over here that we're going to be watching. Even Mara, Soundhound, even though I said I'm not that interested in those, I'll be watching them. We got heavy hitters tomorrow that are setting up for opportunities, and that's regardless of all the small cap stuff. Not that small cap was very active for the last few days. We haven't really had a real gapper except for BTCT, right? We haven't really had a gapper for the last few days, so it's been a little boring in the small cap land. SAVE, that's going to be a fun one to keep an eye on. But more importantly, tomorrow we got something that could potentially shake the markets up, and that is CPI. Where is my econ calendar? There it is. Tomorrow we got CPI at 8:30 a.m. So that's going to potentially shake the markets. Usually CPI, I shouldn't say usually, but for the last few CPI days, the market hasn't really done something crazy, right? But if you remember when the recession was kind of just starting to hit and CPI was far blown apart compared to what the forecast was. The forecast was something, and we were reporting completely different from the forecast, so it was a big surprise. So if the surprise came out as a big surprise, market got shook and we started selling to the downside big time. We haven't really had the opposite of that, which is the market having a big surprise to the good news and the market ripping higher. But I guess, you know, it's been happening gradually, slowly. We've been getting good news, the cooling of inflation, or so they say, right? The cooling of inflation, the betterment of labor, and all those other key metrics that the Fed committee keeps an eye on. It's been slowly getting better and better, and hence the markets at all-time highs, right? Hence the markets at all-time highs. So key metric, we'll be watching how CPI plays out. 8:30, maybe the market makes a little bit of a spike and then continues going in that direction. CPI could be the event that actually takes Nvidia through 150. If it does, then we we don't get to play Nvidia 150 breakout, but we also now get to see if Nvidia stays above 150 throughout the intraday. If Nvidia stays above 150 throughout the intraday after breaking out in pre-market, then it's a no-brainer long. You're just waiting for Nvidia to dip into VWAP, into a moving average, into a 5-minute pattern, into a double bottom, and then you're just buying the double bottom. You're just buying the 5-minute pattern. You're taking the bull flag breakout, and you're just going long on Nvidia no matter what. If you're able to get the 150 breakout, then you're just playing the 150 breakout. So Nvidia potentially will be the only name that I might keep an eye on tomorrow if it breaks above 150, and CPI is the reason that it breaks above 150. So lots of names over here on multiple scenarios that I am ready for to see how they play out. And I want to make my loss from today back. I want to make that money back, but no revenge mentality. You know, that was the mentality that actually got me into a decent enough of a red day today. The revenge mentality, right? You don't want to go into the market with the revenge mentality. I realized that I was not on top of my game. I realized that I was actually greedy to start off the day. I was having such a great month. I was greedy to start off the day, and I said, you know, let's hold the position a little bit longer than I should have, and then I turned that position flat. After turning that position flat on Palantir, which was, I said, screw this, let me go take some dumb positions, dumb trades, and I basically kept digging into red the whole day. Dig. So not the right mentality to go into the market. Tomorrow we're gonna wait for our setups, play our setups and smack those setups when they come into play, basically when they come off of our level. For example, L by we. If you guys listened to me on this name yesterday, what an easy long this one was. All you had to do was patiently wait off the open for the stock to dip into 127.50. Look where today's low was, 127.45. It bounced off of 127.45, 127.50, and it went to 130. It gave you the long multiple times, once, twice, and then it never really gave you the long again. But multiple times it gave you the long, and I can pull in the watch list right now. Watch this. I can go to yesterday's watch list right now, boom, and show you right there, 127.50 to 127.75, and go back right here, 127.50. Today's low, 127.45, right? It gave you multiple longs. So just follow the plan, make a plan. Today we have multiple plans played out for multiple positions. Make a plan, follow the plan, and then execute it. You don't gotta make up new ideas off the bat because you're emotional all of a sudden, which is what I did, and that didn't go to good results today. Now the second half of the stream, ladies and gentlemen, I want to spend some time playing with some tools that I have over here. This tool that you see in front of you is actually Trade Ideas. If you're interested in Trade Ideas, go check out Trade Ideas using my Linktree page. I'm going to post my Linktree page in all of the chats on all the social medias that I'm streaming on at the moment. Flash Research, Trade Ideas, TraderSync, Benzinga, my 4 affiliate sponsors. I only take on products that I actually use. If I don't use a product, I do not promote it, period. So here are the 4 products that I use every single day, 100% of the time. So if you are interested on using the very same products, go check out the links. Use code PRAD15 at checkout at Trade Ideas to get 15% off. Same thing for TraderSync, Benzinga Pro, and Flash Research. If you click on my links, you should already get a percentage discount applied just for using said link. All right, now I want to work on this what do you want, Oliver? What in the world is this? I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with the American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. DOGE. Together, these 2 wonderful Americans will pave the way of administration, dismantle government bureaucracy, slash execs regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, essential to save America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in the government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. It will potentially become the Manhattan Project of our time. Wow, that's a big statement. Manhattan Project of our time. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objectives of Doge for a long time. To drive this kind of drastic change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and the Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never seen before. Basically, governmentalizing business, making the government a business, which is, I agree, the government should be a business. It is a business, but if that's the case, we are the consumers, and then we are paying 10 times as much. So I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. I look forward to Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and at the same time making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out massive waste and fraud with exits throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They will work together to liberate our economy and make U.S. government accountable to we, the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of Declaration of Independence. I am confident they will succeed. This is nuts. Alright, I mean, if it plays out, that's nuts. Going long Tesla. Isn't everyone in the world? Lol. Alright. So I want to make a back test. Where's Dieter? Is Dieter still in the stream here with us? Is Dieter in the room with us? You watching stream still? What Dieter says. So we're trying to, oh, he is here. All right. So Dieter, this is what I have so far. The stock makes a new high. And it's, so VWAP close is hard to oh, you're working on your code. I love it. I love to see that. VWAP close is hard to kind of program. But if I do it off the open, kind of works. But this doesn't work the way I want it to. So it says 244 stocks. Okay, let's try that. Today. So these are all the stocks. Did you even trade a single one of these stocks? No. These are all the stocks that pulled back to, or not pulled back, but opened around yesterday's VWAP, basically. They gapped up higher, and then they pulled back to yesterday's VWAP, and they bounced off of kind of yesterday's VWAP idea. And if I'm looking at the charts, I mean, doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Come on, trade ideas. Stop bugging out. But this does not have the distance from 30 SMA on the 30-minute. Okay, so I'm gonna have to code that in somehow. So let me try that. Go to Tools, Formula Editor. I need help. Go all. How did this do distance from? Distance from inside market. What does that even mean? Distance from VWAP, distance from VWAP. So VWAP 2 is yesterday's VWAP. We have that metric already kind of programmed in. Change in position from 30-minute, 1-minute RSI, change on the How did I do this? %10 of average true range. Okay. I want to find a stock that is... Shit, I'm gonna need some actual help with kind of getting that. So for now, since I'm not good enough with trade ideas to figure that part out, maybe let's just go back into... Did I delete the alert? Oh no, I might have deleted the alert. So maybe just go back into here. There's a different alert dider. How about this one? Crossed. But that's not what you're trying to do. That's not what you are trying to do. Also, I'm trying to look at these alerts really quick. Let me just add these alerts really quick. Get rid of distance from VWAP. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Relative volume, I want at least 3. Change from close, either 5 or -5. 10-day volume of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 million. Okay. Search alert, hours of trading. At least 1 hour of trading. I want to try this real quick, see how it works. Configure history to today. I want to see if this can help me find the perfect what do you call them? Bouncy ball setups. Is there no option for anchored VWAP? There is, but there is no option for 30-day moving average because no one uses that, you crazy maniac. You're the only guy who loves this freaking 30-day that it's so hard to backtest off of it because no one else uses it. So for the bouncy ball, it can't be off the open, so it's gotta be at least, we need it to happen after let's say 12 o'clock. So let's say 60, 90 minutes. Let's give it 90 minutes after the open at the very least. Okay. Caught the bouncy ball. It caught the bouncy ball move. Go EV. Kinda. Yes, no. Let's see if it catches some other good ones. No, that wasn't good. Yeah, we kind of need it to be after 1 o'clock. Configure. Window specific. I might just have... Sorry, Dieter. I know I was working on a alert for you and a back test for you. But I just figured out something that I want to do instead. So I'm going to have to do this one real quick, Dieter. I apologize, okay? Not really a bouncy ball. This is a capitulation. Not really a bouncy ball either. It kind of worked, but it also didn't really work. Oh, maybe for the bouncy ball, I need the stock to be in at least in today's range terms, in the higher end of today's range, or in the lower end of today's range. Yes. Also want to see what the other alerts were. Crossed. Or The difference between confirmed and oh. Okay. Position in 5 minute, 15, 30, 60. Just range, I guess. That would be today's range. And add it. Minimum. Price is at least 0.5 above the low of this range. No. Maybe that's too high. Is 5% too high, chat? Lower the range. I don't want to just lower the range. And just 5% above the low might be mean let's just have VWAP at that point. I don't even know if this works with what I'm trying to do. Ah, my head. Not smart enough to use trade ideas. This is why I use pre-built. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I have built some awesome scanners and trade ideas that I use. For example, the cross VWAP long midday, capitulation scanner over here that I built. But I'm trying to find how to build a bouncy ball scanner. You guys will need to learn what the bouncy ball setup is. But this is not really what I was looking for. Thought it would show it to you, but no, not it. Hey, AVDL kind of did do it. Nah. Nah, this scanner's not it, chat. This scanner's not it. Alright, let's go back to creating the scanner for Dieter. That way we can actually test it. But Dieter, we're gonna have to kind of change some variables in that scanner, my friend. We're gonna have to change some variables in that scanner. So distance from VWAP 2, we'll do that. UPSD did bouncy ball yesterday. Yeah, technically. Yeah, you could say that right here at this level. That's a good bouncy ball. And then longer term bouncy ball going into the next day also. Brrr. That's what I'm expecting Shopify to play out right now. Shopify is playing out as a longer term bouncy ball to the big downside move into $100 tomorrow. So potentially Shopify goes into 100. But anyways, coming back to the scanner that we're working on for you so we can back test it. Average volume 1 million. Today's volume at least 300,000. Relative volume of 3, change from the close of at least 5%. We're only going long on this anyway, so change from the close of at least 5%. We can drop that down to 3% or 2% really if you want to cover more stocks, but I kind of want to only cover like the best of the best stocks because that's what you're doing with your scanner, right? When you're going through the heat map, you're looking for the best of the best stocks in a certain sector. So if that's the case, 5% up gappers with at least 3% relative volume. Let's even bump this up to 600,000 at today's volume. 1 million average volume. Distance from VWAP minimum at the very minimum. That means it can be way higher than this though. That's my pet peeve on this right now. So let's go here, 0.1. How many do we get? 600. Okay, that better fucking work. I'm gonna be pissed. Dieter. Yes. New high or new low. today. Oh my god. Yeah, that's actually not that many if you look at it, because it actually repeats a lot of the names. But if you actually look at it, it's actually not that many names. Okay, that we might have fixed it a little bit, but now we need to add so now it's actually looking at the stocks that are right at day one anchored VWAP. Okay, so if we go into properties over here, I'm not sure I have the ability to add day two VWAP. Not sure if I can modify this to be an anchored VWAP, but what I can do is anchor a VWAP myself to like day one or day two or whatever, right? But so because of that reason, I'm gonna head over to my trading view chart, and the first move was SMST. Let's head over to SMST on the 5-minute chart, see how this one sets up. Technically, the stock is 5% higher than yesterday's close, I guess. This is a little shitty. But it did not cross. Oh yeah, we have to add the other filter. Oh no, right now we're only checking if it's near yesterday's VWAP or not, right? We're just checking if the stock is near yesterday's VWAP for our test. It was, yesterday's VWAP is right here. It was a little bit away from, almost 7% away from yesterday's VWAP. That's pretty much near yesterday's VWAP. MSOX. Okay, that's around yesterday's VWAP. It got above yesterday's VWAP and potentially got above the 30-day moving average too, or sorry, the 30-minute moving average. And this is where you potentially look to get long, and what a move you would have caught on a you know, penny stock, right? Low volume penny stock, potentially going into $1 tomorrow and going crazy tomorrow. Maybe that's something that, you know, that would have worked out. LIFW, it's a red stock. MYZN, we don't really, how are these stocks slipping into the radar? Like, didn't we scan for at least MYNZ at least be up 5% on the day? I guess, you know what, we're gonna have to do ourselves a favor here. Configure, add a price filter, because we're seeing a lot of $5 names here, or below $1 names, sorry. So add a fucking filter, scan for only stocks above $5 or more. And looks like, according to that, we only have one name in the scanner so far that's populating, SE, and that too really late in the day. Okay, there we go. So these are all the names that pop up in the day today. First one, EVGO. And if I remember correctly, EVGO was a big short. Yeah, big short right there. EVGO monster short opportunity, rejecting yesterday's VWAP and continuing to sell below yesterday's VWAP. What did you trade today, Dieter? What did you trade today? That way we can compare that a little bit. And obviously you can see that this stock is now all the way at yesterday's VWAP at 3 o'clock, and it's actually calculating the continuous VWAP, so not right off the open. So for your scan, we kind of need to filter stocks that are right at 9 o'clock around that time. See how like unscannable it gets? You know, it's so unscannable. This is the issue that I was having trying to create the scanner for you. Okay, Excel did not really go up by 5% at all. Did it have a relative volume? Did not have relative volume at all. But a random stock that just met your criteria. It had a big day one yesterday. I will give you that. It had a big day one yesterday. Okay, kind of broke out yesterday a little bit. And then it dipped into today's VWAP, or opened into, sorry, yesterday's VWAP. Opened into yesterday's VWAP, and then just rallied off that VWAP, and then you probably took long on the break of the 9 EMA. You possibly got a move from 68 to 69 something. So watching for continuation. That's, I guess, you know, fair. That's a fair trade, because you can see later on in the day it bounced again off of that very same price point. If I go in here and turn off some of these filters, Let's turn off the change from close. Leave relative volume on, and all the other volume filters on. Now actually I think we can turn off the new lows, because these are only filtering the down movers. So maybe we only want the up movers. See if we can find XL. Still don't see XL, but looks like Baba was around yesterday's VWAP and rejected, not even close around yesterday's VWAP. What the hell? So can I even trust this software? Can I even trust trade ideas with this? What the fuck, trade ideas? Okay, Coinbase was around yesterday's VWAP. mRNA at 935 was around, not around yesterday's VWAP. 935, you were here and you were 1% away. Yeah, I think honestly, Dieter, the way you're testing this is the best, using you know, AI, going and creating scripts that you can plug into trade ideas and testing into trade ideas. I think that's probably the best way to test it. And according to those tests, your results are actually good, right? Your results are good. You're seeing a good growth on it, but I think your stock selection needs to really be key on this. Very, very key. Today you made a good stock selection, right? Today you made a good stock selection, but you need to be very, very good finding stocks that are continuing in some way. I guess your method of stock selection, which you do with the heat map, is also very valid. So you know, it's working for you. I'm just trying to figure out how can we back test it, because if we can back test it and have an actual back testable value to it, I'm very interested to see the numbers behind that statistic. Maybe we can do something on this website instead. Let's go try it on here. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. I use the screener too in TradingView. That's right, that's right. Gap testing, entry, gap. Oh, maybe I can do this. The previous day, the stock went up at least by 10%, had at least 10 million volume on the previous day. Okay. Oh, I can even put what previous day's VWAP was. Oh, but this is like straight up price. I need to be able to put in a... Okay, whatever. I guess I can't do that. Return, close direction, market cap. I guess we already put in the market cap. Right. Price $5. Close direction green, previous day. And on the next day, no gap needed. Volume, market cap, entry settings. Enter the stock when the bar closes greater than SMA 30 on the 30-minute chart. Bar closes greater than I sadly can't do previous day VWAP. So I'll just do VWAP for now. Stop price, low a day, 1% below. Take profit when bar closes less than bar open? No. Take profit. Let's do, this is gonna be 30-minute chart. So 30-minute time frame. Basically you're swing trading this in a way, but this program exits everything in 30 at the end of the day anyways. It doesn't really hold it till the next day, so this program's a little bit different. So we kind of have to make it time of day. Let's make it not time of day, but let's do maybe we do time of day for now. Greater than custom value. Don't want to hold this trade longer than 11 o'clock, I guess. Right? Opening drive. You're maybe even 10 o'clock. You're not holding this stock more than 30 minutes. Sometimes maybe you're holding it for the whole day, but for now, let's just do this. Or take profit. We can cancel this and take profit at... Wait, are we going short? No, we're going long, please. Let's start with 5,000. No re-entries. 2%, 2%. And have profit above 150% above our entry. Okay? Take profits 150% above our entry. Get stopped at 1% below low a day. We're now basically filtering for day 2 plays, okay? Day 2 plays basically long. And if it crossed above the 30 SMA on the 30-minute time frame and crossed above, or closed above, I shouldn't say crossed. If it closed above today's VWAP and the 30 SMA on the 30-minute time frame, it will go long. Alright, let's simulate that test, Dider. See what happens. What the fuck is this? We broke the software, Dider. Let's just do 5 minutes. Gap filter. Oh, it's because the date range was too little. The date range was too little. Lol, 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 lol. Okay, let's go back to 30 minute. 30 minute. The date range was too little. Gap day doesn't matter. Previous gap day. Gap value. Volume. Price. Close direction. Market cap. Let's do 500 million. Price $5, close green, volume 1 million at the very least yesterday, so maybe we'll do 10 million at the very least at the end of the day. Gap value of at least 10%. We'll cut that down to 5%. We'll cut that down to 5%, and these are the previous day, so we're basically filtering for day 2. Bar close greater than, let's do greater than equal to, why not? Bar close greater than equal to VWAP. Bar close greater than equal to SMA 30. Save. Time of day can't be longer than say 10:30. Okay. Exit conditions. Low a day 1%. Take profits 150% higher than 150% is actually this. What does this do? What was it originally? 20%? Let's just do 20%. Overview. Entry conditions, exit conditions, close that. Overview. Okay. There we go. Now it's actually simulating some trades. The range that we picked. Oh my god, Dieter. That hit perfect take profit, eh? Perfect take profit over there. So this is only getting long. Keep in mind, there's only 42 trades. This is as a day 2 trade, right? Day 2 trade. 30-minute time frame also. 30-minute time frame. Day 2 trade. And you're looking to go long. Profit factor 0.57. You're only going long if it goes above today's VWAP and it's above the 30-day moving average. So, sorry, 30 simple moving average on the 30-minute time frame. So technically, if you ignore yesterday's VWAP, because if the stock is above today's VWAP, it ideally has to be above yesterday's VWAP also. This is yesterday's VWAP right here at $10, right? But this is, I guess, too far from yesterday's VWAP, so you would never take that long to begin with. Does that make sense? But ideally, if it's above, if today's VWAP is, if today's day 2 and today's VWAP is higher than yesterday's VWAP and the stock is ripping higher, then you should look for a good long opportunity here, no? So it's not setting up that way. Maybe the time frame is really messing with us over here. I also, I'll be honest with you, Dieter, I'm not really a big fan of that 30 SMA, man, on the 30-minute. It's just so abstract. It's just so random. But look, it works for you. It works for you. So I don't want to knock it. I really don't want to knock it, okay? It works for you, so I'm glad it works for you. But I want to try something different here. So bar closes above today's VWAP and above the 9 SMA on 5-minute chart, you go long. Okay, let's try that. Great show, Prad. Keep working on the backtrack and see you tomorrow. Thanks for your review. Oh my god. Why is the strategy so bad? 21% win rate, 33 trades taken. So are you telling me taking the day 2 play is actually a horrible play? I'm gonna ask these guys if I can test off of previous day's VWAP. What does Oliver want? I'm making some regard trades. I like shorting H&R block 6 months expiry. Someone seriously needs to take the Robinhood account away from You need help, dude. Yeah, don't use the 30 SMA. Yeah, I got rid of it. This is the 5 SMA, and even then, the strats look pretty bad. So all you're basically looking for is the stock gapped up or at least went up on day one. And as long as it went up on day one, you're looking to get long on this position right after the open, or at least before 10:30. As long as the stock before 10:30 is above the 10-minute VWAP. Oh, ooh, I just got an idea. I just got an idea. I just got an idea. Bar closes greater than equal to pre-market high. How about that? And then we actually do. We turn off the take profit. Either we get stopped out at the low of day, or we hold it for the whole day. How about that? So now this is a real day 2 play. Oh my goodness. I guess it's not as real as I thought it would be. But the idea is it would be a real day 2 play if the stock closes above pre-market high with all things considered, it should close at high a day. But why is it so bad? I mean, this is chopped around. How about we do first bar high before 10:30, after 9:45. Nine. Technically taking the opening range breakout on day 2 plays sucks. How are we only taking 21 fucking trades in like 2-3 years? How is that even possible? How's that even possible? How are we only taking 21 trades in like 2-3 years? 1, 2, 3, 4 years. We're only taking 21 trades and there's so many months of not trading this setup? What the fuck? How are there not stocks gapping up? Did a lot of them gap up and close red somehow? Like what is the number that's screwing all this up so badly, huh? How are there only such limited trades? That's crazy. This is sad. 74 trades now. The win rate's a little bit better. And all we did was drop the market cap. So that means we got a bunch of small cap stocks coming in here now. And that's going to just add to the losses. I was trying to eliminate the small cap names. Maybe we do that by increasing the price filter. Just goes to show how hard it is to find edge in the market, chat. Just goes to show how hard it is to find some real edge in the market. For example, here's an edge that I found that I'm more than happy with giving it away to you guys, because, you know, 90% of the people won't trade it. I just know they won't. Let's go 69.69 buying power, okay? 69.69 buying power. This is a long only strategy for those of you interested. Maybe I needed to do this gap day 2 strategy. Anyways, re-entries, let's do 3 maximum. Bang, bang. All right, 2% commission commission fees, 2% cumulative risk. So as your account grows, you keep increasing the amount of risk that you keep putting on the table. We're gonna back test up to the last 3-4 years or so. So we're gonna look for stocks that gapped up by at least 3%, have at least $10 minimum price, and minimum volume of the day. Small, million, not a lot, million, right? Simple metrics. Now we're gonna go to, damn, I kind of forgot what the test was, if I remember correctly. I think this was it. Okay, now if we go to entry conditions, time of day, it's got to be greater than 11 o'clock. All right, greater than equal to 11 o'clock. Bar closes greater than equal to VWAP. Bar closes greater than equal to the 9 EMA. Okay, and then time of day can't be more than 1 o'clock. So between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we can even give this up to 2 o'clock if you really want to. Sorry, that's 2 o'clock. We can even give this up to 2 o'clock if you wanted to. So 2 o'clock, anywhere from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we look for a long midday. Exit conditions, low a day, 1% below low a day. Exit at end of day or get stopped out. As simple as that. Take profit at the end of the day or get stopped out. We can add a little bit of a secret metric over here to get stopped out before, take profits before, but nah, I won't do that. Let's actually try doing that. Let's actually try doing that because I haven't done it with this test. Bar close is less than, nah, actually I don't want to do it. Let's just do the normal test. Screw it. Normal test. So there we go. Any stock that gapped up by more than 3% and has a price value of more than $10 and with a volume of more than 1 million shares between the time of 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, if the bar closes on the 5-minute above VWAP and above the 9 EMA, enter long. Hold the trade till 4 o'clock and exit at 4 o'clock, or get stopped out 1% below the day's low. Pretty simple. Brain dead setup. Anyone can scan for the setup. Anyone can enter the setup. Anyone can trade the setup. You can even automate it if you wanted to. I'm just giving it away for you for free. It's just something that I've been playing with, and I ended up finding this little secret hidden gameplay in the market. This is how easy it could be to find edges, but this could also be how hard it is to find an edge in the market. So you just have to keep playing with softwares, with tools, with analyses, getting stats, getting back test after back test, and then simulating possible scenarios. Dieter, for example, actually has been making a lot of code using Perplexity AI, using ChatGPT, using Grok, using Gemini. He's been creating code and back test for TradingView. So he plugs in this code inside TradingView and he runs all kinds of crazy analysis, and that's how he found a setup that I wanted to back test using my tools, but I'm just not able to back test his setup using my tools because it's so unique. But I guess that's where the sauce and the secret is, because the setup is so unique that you can't even create scanners for it. Makes it so good. Dieter, the hidden quant, the hidden genius, has found something that we can't even back test apparently. But he back tested it on TradingView and it works. And shout out to him, right? Shout out to him. And he's playing with more and more. Like right now, I bet you he's actually playing with code right now. as we're getting this back test. And once this back test is done, I'm probably gonna call it for the night because I'm a little tired. It is hitting 10 o'clock over here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, can we get the back test going? Hello, now, come on. It's going through a lot of trades right now. It's simulating a lot of trades. In that meantime, we can go check for some IPOs. Ooh, 46 million, pretty small, not anything big, but 46 million. Any good earnings reports throughout the rest of the week? Disney, that's for sure something to keep an eye on. Lunar, JD, that's China reporting very soon. Cisco, any other big names? Alibaba, another Chinese name. Bilibili, another Chinese name. Advanced Auto Parts. Still lots of names reporting, so still a lot of fun for us to be expecting from the market. Let's go back to this tool, see how this tool, hopefully the strategy gives me good numbers, because that's all it's been giving me previously. If it gives me bad numbers now, don't blame me for it, because it looks like scenarios changed. Hopefully it doesn't give me bad numbers, because the last time I did this back test, it gave me great numbers. They were great. Come on, Bubs. Taking quite some time loading up the back tests over here. Simulating the test, I should say. Software is pretty powerful. Once the back test shows up, I mean, I've kind of showed you some already. It's very powerful to the point where it shows you exactly where it enters, where the stop was, where your exit is, all kinds of cool metrics and so on. Amazing software, if you ask me. You guys need to check it out, especially if you're trading small caps. A must-have tool. Flash Research, amazing tool. Creates edge that you would have never previously unlocked. Here's another website that I actually found today, fairly cheap, 49 bucks a month for futures. Kind of the same thing that Flash Research does, but for the futures and for the mega cap, I guess. You can also do stocks and stuff, but for the mega cap. So go check out Edgeful also. Not sponsored by them, but I haven't really played with their software to figure out how good their software is. But there's something that I wanted to build, so I've been Googling a little bit and figuring out if a software that I want to build exists already, and from my research, that software doesn't exist yet. There we go. So obviously the biggest drawdowns for this was during the COVID eras, when going long kind of sucked. 2021, you had a little bit of a back and forth. Then as soon as the market going long starts to get better, you can see how the metrics start to change. You start bringing in good chunk of change over here. Even if you start taking out, you know, as a good back test, what you're supposed to do is take out the top 3 and the bottom 3 results. So the bottom 3 results right there, the top 3 results right here. If we were to exclude these 6 results from our trading analysis, you can see how the curve is still a little crazy. We still have some outlier trades where we get insane amounts of return. We still have some bad trades where we get very, very bad return. But overall, on the long term, over a bigger historical time period, you can see how the strategy plays out. Ideally, you're basically going long when things are looking better after the whole morning chop is played out. The stock basically holding pre-market high, it's holding VWAP, it's above the 9 EMA. This is where you look to get long and then potentially ride higher. Maybe you don't even get long here. You actually wait for the day's highest break and then you get long, and then you ride the move higher to the north side. This was a recent stock, NNE, the nuclear energy names, right? Only taking 1,000 shares when the stock is trading 400 million shares each 1 minute, each 5-minute candle. So clearly can take 1,000 shares on that trade, not a ridiculous amount of shares that you're taking. TENK, another name that recently went crazy. You can see how these statistics add up. You can even go to re-entry. Here's some of the stocks that we kind of had to enter twice. Once we got stopped out, and second time a big enough of a return for that move. Here's another re-entry. We took a loss twice on this trade. Here's another re-entry, took a loss twice on this trade. Right, so amazing. Only that many re-entries. That's surprisingly very low re-entries. 4,000 trades traded in the span of the given time that we tested over. Profit factor of 1.28. It's not 1.6. It's not 2. It's not 3. Right. Obviously, those profit factors are very amazing to take a look at if they actually end up showing up, but those are very rare. This is a easy setup that you can deploy in the back with only $69,000 in the back of your pocket. $6,900 in your pocket. You can deploy a software, a strategy so easy that can net you 1,000% return in 1, 2, 3, 4 years. What more do you really want? What more do you really want at that point? 50% risk to reward, 50% win rate, 1.23 risk to reward, and just having fun. If you now just apply a little bit more discretionary methodology, why did this actually get stopped out over here instead of low a day? I guess that was low a day at that point, and then on that entry, low a day is over here. That's interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anyways, if you just had an alert system for this very same setup, if you just simply had an alert system for the same setup, anytime the alert shows up, you just do your own analyzing. You look to see, okay, all the criteria is met. Where can I get long? Where does the long really look good? 68 break, maybe 68 break long looks good. And if it doesn't really break and continue, you just dump the trade and you walk away from it. You walk away. You don't even take that big of a hit as the stock does. And if the trade really looks good, then you get long and you're able to hold it all the way till the end of the day, getting about what, like $4 per share when you're basically risking $1.50 realistically over here. And honestly, if you were manually trading, you wouldn't be risking more than 65-50 cents on this trade. Right? You wouldn't be risking 65-50 cents on this trade. But if you are giving the back test risk to this trade, which ideally you should do, if you're trading a back tested setup, you should give the same amount of risk that the back test is giving so you can get the same results. Otherwise, your results will start changing, they'll start varying, right? So if you want the very same results, then you might have to give the very same amount of risk, and based on that, this is a profitable setup. So that's what I'm kind of hinting to. Get to buying software or using software that can help you unlock edge, trade ideas, flash research. These are the tools at my disposal, and I am more than happy showing you guys how I do it. If you guys need help with these tools and these softwares, let me know. Your boy TraderPrad, always here ready to help. But right now, it's time for me to go. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. Adios. Peace, muchachos. Pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket. Get destroys. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of off after the after hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.